Have an identity of what you want to do, but like you do know that you still have a quarterback that is able to air it out. And obviously with the air raid is a lot of short stuff, and we've seen a lot of guys of differing abilities have success in the air raid. So it's a huge change, but I'll give Will Rogers the benefit of the doubt going into 2023.
Brandon Langlois.
Where did you have him?
I have him at 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So middle of the road in the SEC.
A little bit different there.
Yeah. So Brandon Langlois, I don't know how to pronounce it, so apologies, but he's the senior associate AD at Mississippi State. He tweeted this in September. Mississippi State's Will Rogers threw for 400-plus yards for the 6th time in his career last Saturday. No SEC quarterback since 1999 has logged more career 400-plus yard passing games than Rogers. That's who he was. Like, he was really good at it, and it's going to be so different. I don't know. I would like to be wrong on that one for the story, but
Hey, potentially having a little complimentary run game might could even help his passing stats a little bit. His efficiency, that is.
Very much could. My number 4, though, is Spencer Sanders, who I could see actually being number 1, number 2 by season's end. Matt Green, I think he's going to beat out Jaxson Dart this spring. I think Spencer Sanders is going to be QB1 at Ole Miss. I think he came in with an idea, like he could have started at like Florida or other spots, Auburn, right away. I think the fact that he went there tells him that, like, I could probably win this job. Like Jaxson Dart, I like Spencer Sanders. Spencer Sanders was one play away from potentially making the college football playoff a year ago.
Back in 2021?
Yes, like right there. We've seen the best of Spencer Sanders, which is a really, really good college quarterback. There's some Hendon Hooker vibes here for me, where he goes into the SEC. He's shown some flashes. He's been close. He gets partnered up with the second best play caller and offensive mind in the conference now. Lane and Josh lead the conference, and it's not even particularly close with Todd Monken exiting the building. And Lane is going to put this dude in a position to succeed. You get Quinshon Jenkins, who I think is the number 1 running back in the conference this year. He's back. I think there's talent galore. They've obviously cleaned up in the portal. I'm pretty high on Ole Miss going into this fall. I think they're going to bounce back after kind of a rocky end where their schedule was just completely uneven. We talked about it all season, where it's like they're going to gobble up these early wins, but man, their schedule is just brutal down the stretch. It's just not an even schedule for them. One really fair for the Rebs. I think they're going to be really good in 2023, and I think Spencer Sanders is going to put up really good numbers because guess what? Quarterbacks put up good numbers. Like, I think it's going to be a Matt Corral type year where I think he's in the Heisman conversation. I think Ole Miss is winning 9 or 10 games this fall with Spencer Sanders. I think he's going to have a really good year, move up the draft boards, and ball out in Oxford, Mississippi. So I think he's in my top 4 to start.
So I don't disagree with a lot of what you said there, except for if you think all these things, how do you have him at number 4? I feel like that's number 1 right there. You got him going to New York right now. Ole Miss going 10-2. I don't hate that. I actually have Spencer Sanders at 6. I definitely think he's going to win the job. And Hendon Hooker thing, I think that's a good call. I've seen people talking about Graham Mertz being the next Hendon Hooker or whatever you want to. I just don't see that jump. Maybe we can at least call it a Hendon Hooker jump now instead of a Joe Burrow jump, because that was just that was stupid. You know, like predicting who's the next LeBron James. Like let's just stop that. Mm-hmm. So I could see Spencer Sanders. He's the same type of player at Oklahoma State that Hooker was at Virginia Tech. Even a better passer in terms of stats. So the potential is there. Obviously, with Lane Kiffin in that offense, there's a potential that Spencer Sanders could be a dangerous player. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC, but I don't know that you're talking best case scenario for sure with all that. Like I don't know that he's all that, but I could definitely see him having like a Matt Corral type year. But if you remember, like the Matt Corral type year, like the Heisman hype wasn't really legitimate. Like it was a lot of stat padding versus the bad teams, and like the intangible stuff, like just having like 30 carries and like a hard fought win versus Tennessee and Knoxville and everything. It was like his numbers at the end of the day, like they weren't as good as like even Stetson Bennett's were, who got so much flack in 2022. Like, so Corral, like it could be a Corral type of year. Like I don't hate on that, but I don't know that I feel like Corral's 2021 year was kind of overrated. So I don't know how to evaluate that. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. Corral was a dog though. That guy, he took some hits, and Spencer Sanders is much bigger. And Matt Corral just kept getting up, man. Like it blew my mind. He took some shots. He's not a big dude, and just kept battling. So
no, he definitely did. And the way he was used in the running game was shocking to me. So the fact that he was used the way he was, like Spencer Sanders, seems like he's more built for playing that style.
Yeah, and Jackson's not really that guy. He's more of a pocket guy. He doesn't have that mobility that Spencer provides. I just think he's more of what maybe Lane Kiffin would prefer to really open up this offense. But we'll see.
20 touchdowns, 5 picks Corral had that year. Like not like the most impressive passing, but what was efficient, and
or his running
touchdowns,
stats,
600 yards and 11 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a warrior that year for sure.
Number 5 for you is Carson Beck, who we talked about. Spencer Sanders is number 6 for you. So we're right there. My number 6 is not your number 6. He's all the way down at 10 for you. Here's the thing.
Got him at 10. Barely cracked the top 10. I had him at 11 at first, but I bumped him up there to 10.
I bet you a lot of Tennessee fans who listen to this show were like, what in the heck is going on here? Like we're already we're closing in on midway through this list, and Joe Milton's name has not come up. Let me just say, I don't think there is a harder